Splashing so close to the action of Athletes Unlimited, we may get some on you. With a big welcome from Captain Katie, Izzy McMahon provides pyrotechnics for Team Glynn. In Sam, those in orange trust. With Grace Griffin, a gold-mouthed disciple of Team Apuzzo. Better hurry, it's time to make an entrance with Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse on ESPN. This is Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse on ESPN, presented by Geico. Today, we return to USA Lacrosse headquarters for the final Saturday of the season. The captains taking charge. Team Katie Glynn matching up with the squad led by Sam Apuzzo. It is so great to see you again alongside Courtney Martinez-Connor, a five-time national champion at Maryland. I am Joe Beninati. You know, the captains in this game play drastically different positions on the field. Does that influence the way they approach their leadership role?
You know, when you look at these two captains, one is in goal, one is on the offensive end of the field. They have to rely on their facilitators a lot to communicate, whether it's with players or with the referees in calling timeouts.
20 games have already been contested, 4 remain, and we can bring you up to speed as to how we arrived at this weekend. 56 athletes competing for one title that'll be crowned tomorrow. Teams are shuffling all 4 weeks court with an innovative scoring system.
The scoring system is unique. It's not just about your individual play, making plays on the field, getting statistics to increase, but it's also about getting others to notice. You can be voted an MVP at the end of the game, 3 are voted in, and then you have overall quarter wins as well as the end of the game, 45 points to the winner.
Let's delve into the opening game of the day. It should come as no surprise that Katie Glynn is in the race for a medal. She is remarkably consistent.
Katie Glynn, she is building off of what she did last year. She ended with the 4th overall leaderboard points, and she continues to have amazing play in goal. She's always locked in. Her level of play on the field really elevates those around her, whether it's a shot from far out or those in tight. She is prepared.
Rock solid between the pipes, takes command of the defense. When she gets on a hot streak, the saves really do add up. She's number 3 on the leaderboard. Speaking of that leaderboard, we have a new front runner. Sam Apuzzo's excellence on the field has brought her to a lofty perch.
Sam Apuzzo, when you think about her, you think of her as a goal scorer, but she does so much more. Dishing the ball out, winning ground balls, taking the draw, getting possession for her team. But she's always managing to put herself in the right place at the right time. Her head is always up, thinking about the next thing to do. Right there, that 2-pointer was huge for her team yesterday. And her eyes are up, her vision. Obviously, this is with her former BC teammate Dempsey Arsenault, but she just always knows how to cut, where to cut, and she has patience on the field.
Courtney, she's just about automatic when it comes to goals. Nobody has put up more win points. The MVP voters just love her. Sam Apuzzo starting this day on top of the Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse leaderboard. You know, we have a goal of bringing you, the viewer, into the game as often as possible with Air National Guard. Today, Britt Reed helps us with that assignment. Britt, you made 11 stops back on Thursday. You often tell us that the goalies are the backbone of a team. How did you rate your performance?
I think it was a team performance overall. We came out strong. We believed in each other the whole way. And we just kept battling. When they scored, we came back and scored and just stayed on top and trusted in each other.
Britt, as this weekend is winding down, what's the biggest message for your team?
Have a fun last weekend, right? And then I think secretly our team wants to keep Sam on top. She's at the top of the leaderboard, and our job is to keep her on top.
Britt, thank you. We'll be checking in with you from time to time. Britt Reed all set, barking out encouragement to her mates. Team Glynn in the purple, Team Apuzzo in the orange. Game 21 of 24 this summer. The officials, Lynn Bowers, Erica Leslie, Liz Brush, Julie Wakis. As we are off and running, Allie Kennedy, 42 in the purple, Charlotte North teaming up with Alyssa Perella. In Athletes Unlimited, there are 14 players on your roster. We play the game 10 on 10. 6-on-6 at the offensive end with a 60-second shot clock. Kennedy works the split dodge, defended on the outside by Dempsey Arsenault. You see Izzy McMahon hovering outside the 8-meter key. 2 in the purple. She's the first player in Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse history with a 2-point goal in 4 straight games. Keep your eyes peeled for her. You know Hallie Majorana will, as she's shadowed by the Honey Badger, Ella Simpkins. Majorana turns off the question mark, 15 seconds to shoot. Warden finds Perella. Sweeping to the interior against the hard-nosed Lizzie Colson. Only Sam Apuzzo has won more quarter points, win points than Colson. This drive from the angle answered easily by Britt Reed. Every goal he saved gets you 6 points on your leaderboard total.
Excellent grab by Katie O'Donnell. She's a midfielder this season who I think has really stepped up her game. You notice her all over the field doing the little things just like that, maintaining possession when that pass very easily could have gotten away from her.
Dempsey Arsenault will switch it up back behind the goal. Andy Aldave is an injury substitution in for Jamie Ortega, the high-scoring rookie out of North Carolina. Her season done due to injury, so Aldave entered the picture Thursday night. She scored a goal in her first ever pro game. Just shy of the 2-minute mark in the opening quarter. From time to time throughout the day, you'll be seeing the Geico leaderboard on the left side of your screen. It's a cumulative total of points now. We're in the 4th weekend and final weekend of Athletes Unlimited. Sam Apuzzo in the orange, number 14, setting the pace. Find your favorite of the 56 players who've been in the lineup throughout this summer. They're battling for 4 medals. There's a Defensive Player of the Year presented by Geico. We've alluded to the all-defensive team. We'll remind you of that quartet as we progress today. The first of 2 games from USA Lacrosse headquarters in Sparks, Maryland.
I love to see the multitude of colors, orange, purple, blue, and yellow, as the teams have changed from week to week, dependent upon who is drafted where. That's why you see an array of colors on the leaderboard and changes constantly.
O'Donnell flashing to the inside with Gilbert, the high-scoring rookie. Lauren Gilbert and Charlotte North setting the pace in goals this summer. Sam Apuzzo has 18 seconds to shoot. Challenged by Courtney Taylor. The bouncer goes wide of Katie Glynn. Backed up by Aldave with 11 seconds to shoot. Andy Aldave, a 50-plus goal scorer with the Tar Heels this past season. Arsenault, 2 seconds. Lets it fly and scores! Just beating the shot clock buzzer.
Dempsey Arsenault does such a great job of being scrappy all over the field, but she had a very heads-up play. She knew her only option was to dodge here. When this pass got away from her team in orange, picking up that ground ball, she took a quick peek at the shot clock. Even though an alley dodge can be very difficult to get a quality shot off, making it easier for the goalkeeper, she plays this one just perfectly into the opposite side netting.
She said in a dream life she would be a country music singer. Sweet music right here on the bouncer that beats Katie Glynn. Arsenault with goals in 9 of her 11 outings this season, a total of 14 on the campaign. Let's go inside the draw circle. Draw possession gets you 2 points. Apuzzo, opposite of Haley Warden. Warden, who was an alternate for Team USA's national squad, a gold medal winner. She told us at the outset of this Athletes Unlimited season that she was itching to play. Taylor, the youngster out of Boston College who has blossomed very nicely defensively as the weeks have gone on, helping Team Glynn on the clear. We are 3.5 minutes old, 1-0, thanks to Dempsey Arsenault. Charlotte North, picked up by Caroline Wakefield. Wakefield with a cause turnover there. That's as good as scoring a goal for yourself. 12 points for Wakefield with that intercept. O'Donnell legging it across the midline, lost it to the sideline. Did manage to goose it in, but this is a turnover. And working back comes Team Glynn. On the head man, McMahon with a good speed. She pumped that one high.
You love to see the back and forth play, pushing the tempo, the fast break situations. However, when you don't have a backup, that's actually a caused turnover that's going to go to the defensive player who is able to pick up that ball. That's new this year in Athletes Unlimited.
So Wakefield, in the span of about 20 seconds, just picked up 24 points. The caused turnover and then the caused turnover credit for winning the end-line race. In lacrosse, on a shot, when the ball goes out of bounds, closest to the ball, where and when it leaves the playing surface gets possession. Gilbert on the move, slings that one wide, backed up by Aldave. Andy Aldave, who'll be working as a graduate assistant when the North Carolina Tar Heels break camp for a new season. This snapshot score! Grace Griffin gets it to bounce home.
To step into a league during that final week can be very difficult. But Andy Aldave seamlessly coming on to Team Apuzzo, and she wasn't one of the last picks in the draft, and there's reason for that. She's very smart on the field, an unselfish player. She was patient in getting this ball into the middle of the field. Grace Griffin flashing at just the right time as Team Apuzzo has gone up by 2.
I know we were watching the draft when Sam Apuzzo made the selection of Aldave in the 6th round, and the eyes went, ooh, wait a minute. Andy Aldave getting acclimated quickly. She has points in back-to-back games. Grace Griffin's on the board for a 4th time. After the pregame meal, I am sure included a banana, one of her superstitions pregame. Plenty of advice before Grace entered Athletes Unlimited, coming from Katie O'Donnell, who's been a teammate throughout this week. Apuzzo looking for the draw possession. Ball down, bodies collide, and out of the pack comes Alyssa Perella. Give her 2 points. Haley Warden will operate 6-on-6. The first 2 tallies belonging to Team Apuzzo. Arsenault and Griffin back-to-back. Remember, there are 20 points on the line for the team that wins the individual quarter. Your team wins the game, you'll get 45. Kennedy isolating against Arsenault. Here comes the double. Rejected beautifully there. Wakefield got in the lanes for the pass pickoff, and this is Colson 4-on-3 on the fast break. Finding Gilbert, keeps it hot, too tall for Aldave. This is a turnover, back to Team Glynn. Action-packed in the first 5+ minutes of this opening quarter. Stay right there with us. When we return, we'll hear a lot of Athletes Unlimited's best, talking about one of the best of the biz, Sam Apuzzo. Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse on ESPN is brought to you by Geico. For bundling made easy, go to geico.com. As is customary at the end of every Athletes Unlimited game, the players do stick around for photographs, for autographs. They make a whole bunch of friends, especially with the next generation of great lacrosse players. It's Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse Season 2 in the final weekend. We have played just about 5 minutes and change of the opening quarter. Goals from Arsenault and Griffin have Team Apuzzo out in front by a 2-0 score. More lacrosse today. Premier Lacrosse League action, PLL play coming from Zions Bank Stadium in Utah. Cannons and Chrome, 2:30 Eastern, 11:30 a.m. Pacific on ESPN Plus, with the Chrome displaying those Tuaraton Award winners of the past and present, Logan Wisnauskas and Dylan Malloy. In Athletes Unlimited, there's no doubt that Sam Apuzzo is one of the game's most gifted offensive players. She's an attacker who makes a huge impression. Apuzzo, topside, question mark, fires, scores!
She is an absolute threat on this field, and she is captaining this team right now.
I think Sam is just, unbelievably talented. She's a mentor. She's, she was obviously my coach, but, now she's also my teammate.
Coming off the World Championship, you have Kayla, Charlotte, and Sam was like our unsung hero.
I can't even explain how much I've learned from her just watching, and then, getting to really be coached one-on-one by her was just a dream come true.
I told her last week, when I see you running at me, I feel like I'm gonna drop the ball because I'm scared, and I just think she does all the little things, and she's a great teammate.
Apuzzo lets it go, she scores!
Cannot ever count out Sam Apuzzo.
We're like sisters at this point. We met at BC, and we've just had such a great connection on and off the field. We were roommates for 3 years. She is one of my friends that I can have a best time and laugh, but then also very serious questions, go to her for advice.
She's a one-of-a-kind, talent, person, leader, mentor, and role model to so many, including myself.
I'm kind of speechless because I don't think I realize I can have that effect on people. I guess it's who I am, and that's kind of cool to see and kind of hear about that.
Deserving recognition from her Athletes Unlimited teammate, Sam Apuzzo, once again another blockbuster season and ranked #1 on the leaderboard as we began play today.
You know, so many players within Athletes Unlimited chose Sam as a possible player to win overall Athletes Unlimited in terms of leaderboard points. And it's because she competes. She competes, but she's a leader to others on the field. And I love her humbleness. She said she doesn't necessarily think of herself in that way, but she's a true competitor.
Sam and her teammates in orange could be some 4 minutes away from 20 points. If they win this first quarter, they have the lead by 2, a couple of goals less than 2 minutes apart. Charlotte North can change that in a heartbeat, however. She thought about the jump shot there. North leaves to Majorana, back to Charlotte North. Beating 2 defenders, trapped along goal line extended. They play very close defense to 88 in the purple. Shot clock's at 4. That pass was zipped to Perella. It's going to turn out to be a turnover. Good defensive stand in front of netminder Britt Reed.
You know, the defense knows what to do. You want to send a quick double whenever Charlotte North has the ball. She is an absolute threat on the field, but that means somebody is open, and they need to make themselves known and do that quicker. Obviously, Sam Apuzzo being her previous collegiate coach, she knows how to play Charlotte North very well.
Arsenault off the split dodge, stopped by Glynn. Glynn's team has already committed 5 costly miscues. Those turnovers hampering their offensive ability. There's Apuzzo on the ride, makes the strip, goes to goal. Stopped, stonewalled by Glynn on the breakaway. Katie Glynn already with 3 saves. Glynn, who recorded an 11-stop game earlier in the season. Majorana behind the back, she scores!
Getting the ball out of their defensive end was key for Team Glynn and the purple jerseys. Katie Glynn picking right back up where she was on Thursday, making save after save. We have Sam Apuzzo relentlessly riding. This is Courtney Taylor, one of her players from this past season at BC. However, Katie Glynn had her number, and getting the ball out quickly was key, not letting the riding play of Team Apuzzo get set. Fast break all the way to the other end, moving the ball quickly, and then Hallie Majorana. That's how she scored the very first goal in Athletes Unlimited, and has continued on here today with a nice little behind the back. I almost think the defense, as well as the goalkeeper, Britt Reed, wasn't even sure that she was back there.
That was a sneak attack. Majorana with goals in all 11 of her games this summer, the first on the day for Team Glynn. And at the other end, Katie made that stop on the breakaway against Apuzzo look way too easy. That was a nonchalant stop on the game's perhaps most talented offensive player. Draw control for Team Apuzzo. Latter stages of the opening quarter. Remember, 20 points on the line for all the players on the roster of the winning team. We'll do that 20-point thing per quarter. 45 for the game. In the aftermath, the players will vote for MVPs. All those points landing on individual players' totals. Apuzzo on a 2-person game with Gilbert. Gets O'Donnell involved inside the key. There was contact there, but the officials allowing play to continue. We drift below 2 minutes to go in the first. Gilbert to the sideline. Shot clock's at 15. Needing to work it in a hurry. This is Grace Griffin. On the flip, Gilbert bumped there. No charging call. 4 seconds to shoot. Inside, great pass. Aldave just sent it wide. Andy Aldave was on the doorstep of Katie Glynn.
Team Apuzzo, their eyes are always up. As soon as the ball is into their stick, they're ready to move it. We saw on Thursday that a majority of their goals were assisted. So it's all about sharing the ball. When you share the ball, you play better lacrosse, and it makes it much more difficult for the defense to play. It's not shutting down any one player per se.
This is Allie Kennedy, 42 in the purple, sharing the rock with Haley Warden. Warden, a national champion at James Madison University. Did a lot of gymnastics and dance when she was younger. Hallie Majorana playing cat and mouse with Simpkins. Turns and scores! Majorana back to back.
Hallie Majorana making things interesting here. The score is tied up 2-2, which means those 20 points are still up for grabs right now. There's less than a minute left in this first quarter, but Hallie Majorana was feeling the defense out the entire time. Two former Syracuse players, although at different eras, when she saw that no double team was coming quickly, she was basically feeling where that defender was at, and if she could turn on her strong side, which that quick little motion, that movement, acceleration to goal, getting her hands free, what's so important.
She has had an outstanding 2022 season with Athletes Unlimited. Majorana had 2 against Marino on Thursday. She's got 2 already today, 4 hat tricks on the season. She began the weekend among the top 3 in terms of goals and assists. You see that she's gaining ground on North and Gilbert now for the overall goal scoring lead. It has been a terrific 4 weeks for Hallie Majorana. Final 35 seconds of the quarter, Colson going to goal with Gilbert. She lets it fly and she sent it wide. Shot clock is turned off. Courtney was talking about the 20 points that are available now. If we remain tied at the end of the quarter, those 20 would kick over to the second. Apuzzo attacking from the top. Sam Apuzzo slings this one right to the cross of Team Glynn. She checks the clock, knows she's got to outlet it quickly. That's a turnover picked off by Griffin. The pass for Apuzzo gets away. 3 seconds now, 2. Apuzzo to the cage. Not enough time. That's after the horn. No goal for Lauren Gilbert. So at the end of 10, we're tied at 2, and those 20 points will carry over to the winner of the second frame. Saturday afternoon in Sparks, Maryland. Sun splash with temperatures in the 70s. The two teams breaking the huddle and off to a really good start. 1/4 of the way through regulation. We're tied up at 2. Majorana has the last 2 on ESPN.
Your Athletes Unlimited champion, pitcher number 8, Alicia Apuzzo.
I don't feel pressure to become the champion again, but I always feel pressure to perform. But that's great though, because I see pressure as a privilege. To be able to have won the Athletes Unlimited Championship in 2021 and now be here today competing for another one. The work isn't done. I have to step on that field at ground zero again, get points and compete and hit and pitch and field and do all the things. So yeah, I feel a certain level of pressure to perform, but I find so much calmness in that. And that's where I feel like I thrive the most, when I do feel that pressure.
Week 3, folks, of Athletes Unlimited Softball continuing. 2 games tonight. Team Chittister taking on Team McLenny, 6 Eastern, 3 Pacific. Then Team Jakewish squaring off with Team Mulipola, 8:30 Eastern, 5:30 Pacific, both on ESPNU and the ESPN app. As far as Athletes Unlimited Softball is concerned on the leaderboard, Jakewish, 928 points. Jakewish, Courtney, is a captain for the 6th time in her Athletes Unlimited softball career. Just terrific. Mulipola is a home run threat, and Chittister just the same. Every time at bat, a threat to go deep. With Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse, this is Season 2. Back in Season 1, we loved watching Kylie Ohlmiller go to work. Kylie not able to play in this summer's activities due to injury, but 71 would make a few highlights for you.
You know, she started that run for Team Gold when she was captain, and they continued on their winning ways, but electric to watch on the field.
And it's our pleasure to welcome Kylie Ohlmiller to our telecast, joining us on Zoom. Kylie, we know that you were injured during the Women's World Championships. How's that knee feeling?
She's definitely been better, but we're going to get back out onto the field. It's been awesome to watch AU from home. I wish I was out there, but it was really great winning gold and now getting to watch a lot of my teammates and friends do what they do best out there. It's been great being a fan.
We're going to have you as a second analyst, if you will. We look forward to your commentary as Team Glynn is in the purple. Taylor working down that sideline with Molly Stevens. Stevens to the 8-meter key. If you score from behind that 8-meter key, you'll get 2 for the team, 16 for yourself. North, who leads the league in that department, guns one high. Kylie, what is it about Charlotte's shot that's so overwhelming?
I think it's the pure speed of it. I also think it's the release. She does a really great job at being able to hide the stick head when she kind of reaches back to shoot, and that's really difficult for goalies to read, and it's really difficult for defenders to defend. So that's what makes her so elusive.
Wakefield doing a good job on North right there. Shot clock's at 12. Hallie Majorana had the last 2 goals of the quarter. Those 20 win points for the quarter were pushed to the second as Britt Reed makes the answer there at the post.
Kylie, when you look at season 2, have you had the opportunity to talk much with your teammates, whether US or teammates from last year, about things that they're seeing or doing on the field, or maybe even just suggestions that you have?
Yeah, absolutely. I definitely, it's funny. I check in with, teammates and friends like Allie Kennedy and Marie McCool every week. I kind of text them every Monday, and I'm like, all right, give me the week 3 details, give me the week 2 details, and we just kind of have that chatter back and forth about some of the new rules, like chasing the ball out the end line, and some of the new leaders on the leaderboard, and it's been great to just hear what's going on inside the scenes as I'm kind of standing outside of it as a fan. But it's also been great, like you said, to have a new perspective on being able to watch from home and give them some feedback, but also just kind of hear about all the fun that they're having together.
6-on-6 at the offensive end, almost 3 minutes into quarter 2. Warden on the split dodge from left to right. Bump to the ditch there defensively. Nice work by Kerrigan Miller. Warden's pass taken out of the air by Stevens. Shot clock's at 22. Majorana in no hurry. North hovering outside the 8-meter key. Bluffs it off the hitch move. Everybody's on high alert when 88 Purple has the ball. North pumps one left-handed wide of the goal. That's backed up on the end line by Taylor Van Thoff. 5 seconds to shoot. Majorana inside, quick stick, great save. Britt Reed robbing Stevens there.
Britt Reed standing tall in the goal. Love to watch how she changes her arc dependent upon where that ball is at. As you watch right here in the upper right-hand screen. Take it for us, Kylie.
Britt Reed's been awesome all summer long. I know she was playing, for Team England when we were playing with Team USA, and she had a lot of incredible saves. She's really athletic in her cage and does a great job at leading her defense in front of her.
Kylie, she challenges so far and plays on such a high arc. I wonder how much of a difference that is as Apuzzo sends it wide as opposed to Katie Glynn, who enjoys playing her goaltending position basically from the goal line as Gilbert fumbles this one out of bounds.
I think this is actually a cause turnover.
Definitely makes it difficult when you see goalies as a shooter either stepping out or kind of hanging back in there. You have to think about where you're putting the ball and how you're going to attack that shot.
Warden will advance. Nearing the midway mark of the second quarter in a low-scoring game. If you're just tuning in, we haven't had a tally in this second quarter. Wakefield with another takeaway. Huge cause turnover points for Caroline Wakefield, 23 in the orange this afternoon. Goals from Arsenault and Griffin for Team Apuzzo. A pair of strikes from Hallie Majorana. You're all caught up. 2-2. Joe Beninati, Courtney Martinez-Connor, joined by Kylie Ohlmiller. Joining us on Zoom, Kylie injured this season. Outstanding attacker, not able to play. Apuzzo going to the goal, and she hits pay dirt. Sam Apuzzo.
Sam Apuzzo, so athletic to the goal. This comes right off of a cause turnover from her defensive team as they move the ball up the field. She likes the matchup. She was able to take Courtney Taylor on, much like she did in that first quarter, with a nice little change of direction.
What makes Sam so elite as a player is she's such an incredible leader, and she really fires her team up, but she really doesn't have a strong hand. She can go righty, she can go lefty. I think you mentioned it on the broadcast earlier on this week on Thursday's games, Courtney, but she can attack from anywhere on the field, whether it's behind at X, it's up top like you just saw there. That's what makes her such a threat all over the field.
It's so admirable to watch her and other great attackers like yourself, Kylie, protect the stick on the way to the goal. Apuzzo among the top 5 in the goal-scoring race this summer. Her tally giving her team the 3-2 advantage as we go back inside the draw circle. Erica Leslie getting the combatants ready. It's Apuzzo against North. And how many times would they have practiced against one another at Boston College when Charlotte was a player and Sam as a coach?
That's mentor and mentee right there. So if two players know how to match up against one another, that's Charlotte North and Sam Apuzzo. Obviously, you saw that on Team USA, Kylie, but we really didn't see either of them taking the draw control. You guys had so many great players. Can you talk a little about that?
Absolutely. I think that's what made us such a strong unit as a team, is that all of our players had their superpowers in a sense of whether they were offensive threats or, a part of the defensive unit. But so many of our players were also the stars at their college teams, and they were able to take the draw like Charlotte and Sam were, even though they're also attackers. Same thing with Kayla Trainer, and then you have Taylor Cummings, who's one of the best to ever do it in the draw circle and all over the field. So again, we just had options, and that's what made us so dangerous.
Majorana hanging out back behind the cage. Simpkins was hung up. Nice pass to the inside, just sent over top of the goal. As this hits the end line, we hear the horn. A TV timeout, a chance for us to step away. Sam Apuzzo began the day on top of the Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse leaderboard. For every goal you score this summer, you pick up 12 points. Well, these are 12 hard-earned and value for number 14 in the orange, going to the cage. So we were 2-2 after 10 minutes, which means the 20 points for winning the quarter from the first carry over to the second. The second quarter now is worth 40, and Team Apuzzo has the jump on Team Glynn thanks to a tally from its captain. Friends, we want to let you know about the Unlimited Club. It provides great benefits, including voting on league decisions, interactions with the players, signed items, and more. For more information or to join today, go to auprosports.com. Young fans in the stands, great family entertainment day, game 21 of 24 with Athletes Unlimited. Joe and Courtney joined by Kylie Ohlmiller, and Kylie's resume, Court, is tremendous, whether it be collegiate, international, or pro.
I mean, you just look at that. Most career points in Division I history with 498. Gold medalist this past summer, earlier in June, and then you look at the only player to have 5 goals in multiple games. We've seen it here this season, 5 goals, but only by one player here and there.
Kylie, you were a captain a number of times last summer. You would have been involved with the Unlimited Club members in after draft chats. What's it like to interact with the fans on a daily basis as a professional?
I think it's why we all do it. I think it's, one of our goals and dreams and aspirations to be on this stage and be able to play the sport that we love in front of fans that are looking to one day get there and be professionals themselves. So in order to be able to interact, I think that's one of our favorite pieces of being a part of Athletes Unlimited, and I know it was for me, and I know it's something that we cherish a lot.
Kylie, I'm not sure how much you've seen of Athletes Unlimited with pictures in the stands, but we see players with Team USA jerseys saying Ohlmiller on the back. You guys, I think, are taking this game to another level, and where do you see it continuing?
I think the sky's the limit, and even farther beyond that. And Athletes Unlimited has done a great job for giving us this exposure. I mean, we're sitting here on ESPN talking about the sport that we love so much, and watching these women get paid to do what they love so much and do it at the highest level. And if I'm a younger player in this generation, I get to watch Sam Apuzzo out there doing her thing, and Charlotte North and all these incredible women. I'm going to want to be out there as well, and it's only going to continue to grow from here.
Back to work in the second quarter. Charlotte North off the split dodge. She fires, and Reed is locked in. Britt Reed made another sparkling save there. She had 11 back on Thursday. She's got 4 in the first half, but the clearing effort doesn't go smoothly. Inside, Majorana behind the back, just flicking that one wide of the goal.
Excellent ride by Charlotte North. Off of the save from Britt Reed, you had her relentlessly hustling after the defender till she got the ground ball, and then, not surprised, Hallie Majorana always adding a little bit of a flair to her shot.
We don't mind that one bit. Team Glynn in the purple has misfired on its last 7 shots. 4 minutes to go in the half. Stay with us between quarters 2 and 3. A special feature on one of the best defenders in all of Athletes Unlimited, Becca Block. Apuzzo to the goal, fought off there by Glynn. Katie Answering Britt, save for save. That's her 5th of the day. Gilbert comes up with the ground ball and a new 60-second shot clock for Team Apuzzo.
It's a really nice hustle play there on the end line by Captain Sam Apuzzo. Those are the kinds of plays that make her so great.
Arsenal sends it high. Backed up on the end line by Apuzzo. Still plenty of time to shoot. You see the play developing from behind the cage. Question mark dodge, and the answer provided by Glynn. Sharp as attack in the first 20 minutes. The lead pass just gets over the head of Allie Kennedy. It'll be brought back ahead by Ella Simpkins. 10th turnover in the opening half of play for Team Glynn.
With just 14 players per team, it can get pretty tiring out there. This is game 2 out of 3 in the final weekend of Athletes Unlimited. Midfielders wanting to save their legs, looking to slow things down a bit. Everybody touches the ball, gets a little bit of possession time.
Gilbert off the split, lets it go. You're not beating Katie Glynn today from out there. Glynn with another rejection, her 7th stop. Give her 6 points for each of those as Courtney Taylor will advance. 2.5 to go in the opening half.
I think that's something important that you mentioned there, Courtney. A lot of these players, I know you've mentioned it before, but have played in the World Championships, played in the World Games. Many players played in all 3, came right here into Athletes Unlimited. So they've been playing all summer long. So getting those touches and really kind of taking care of the ball is definitely looking to be something that's key in this game.
Kylie, you and Allie Kennedy are best of buds. Is she running on fumes right about now? Miller fires high.
Somehow Allie Kennedy is she's kind of like the Energizer Bunny. She just keeps going. And it's really, really impressive because even if I was healthy right now, I don't know if I'd be able to run the way that she does.
40 points are on the line in the second quarter. Apuzzo has the only goal in this frame as she guns one high. The first quarter was a carryover 2-2. It's 3-2 at the moment. A little bit more than 90 seconds with which to work, and now we're seeing a yellow card.
That was a dangerous follow-through by Sam Apuzzo. When the defense has their position set, you need to make sure you're in control of your stick and the follow-through of where it's going. Courtney Taylor looks like she's going to be heading off the field for a second. She, again, was a player under Sam Apuzzo, the assistant coach at BC.
Well, Courtney's not afraid to tell you that she's grateful to Sam for helping her become the person she is. She thought it would be nerve-wracking, Courtney Taylor did, to play against the best of the best in Athletes Unlimited, but she has fit in splendidly on the back end. Player up now for Team Glynn, another 55 seconds.
As we take a closer look at this follow-through right here, we see the ending part just heading right into Courtney Taylor's face, and that's where that yellow card was dished out from. It's 60 seconds. It is releasable here in Athletes Unlimited.
McMahon outside the 8-meter key. Ditto for Charlotte North. Those two with flamethrowers. Stevens inching closer to the goal, picked up by Wakefield. North, well behind the 8-meter key. Under a minute in the half, 18 seconds to shoot. North thinking about the 2, changing the angle of attack. Stevens is next, 10 seconds to shoot. North being encouraged to pull the trigger. Majorana will, and she sent that one high.
Team Glynn is doing a great job at moving the ball, but I think I was really impressed by Team Apuzzo's defense there, just kind of sinking into the 8, utilizing the fact that in Athletes Unlimited, there is no shooting space or no 3 seconds.
Apuzzo out of the box. Griffin goes to goal. She scores! Grace Griffin may have just locked up those 40 points for winning the second quarter.
This is one of those instances where a great defensive play, as Kylie just talked about, translated into some offense, moving the ball quickly down the field. Pass was knocked by Team Glynn, but Grace Griffin picking up the trash.
And a really nice finish there. You see Grace Griffin seeing that sliding defender and kind of pulling her stick across, and then being able to bring it back here is what catches Katie Glynn off for just a second. She's able to sneak it past her. And that's a really nice play, kind of just catching the defense off guard. Sam Apuzzo, as you mentioned, was in the box, so on that transition from defense to offense. Just a heads-up play by the entire team there to kind of push transition fast to goal.
That's the voice of injured attacker Kylie Ohlmiller, kind enough to join us as an analyst in our second quarter today. Grace Griffin, second on the board. Those 40 points that are available will be claimed by Team Apuzzo if they can keep this a 2-0 score in the second quarter for the final 23 ticks. Kylie, we wanted to let you know just how much that we missed you in this season. We wish you very, very well. We know you haven't had your surgery yet, and we are crossing our fingers that everything turns out great for you. Arsenal,
Thank you.
end to end. We're not through yet with the opening half, not when Dempsey Arsenal has something to say about it.
Straight from the draw
Thank you,
control.
Joe. I appreciate it.
Kylie, I want you to take this one. This one was excellent from this first battle off the draw.
Dempsey's really stepping into her own. It's really awesome to see her thriving in this Athletes Unlimited season. She's so speedy and so fast, and you can see she recognizes there's just green in front of her when she catches that ball off the draw, and she's just going to goal right from there. She recognizes the time. She's able to kind of take a little bit of some contact at the end, but you see her, she sees green, she's going to go, and this is a great finish. Just kind of taking some contact and letting it finish. She's playing incredibly this season.
Green definitely means go for Dempsey Arsenal. Leader in ground balls in Athletes Unlimited in the first 3 weeks. With 11 seconds to play, and Team Apuzzo now jumping out to its largest lead on the day. Aldave's pass will be too tall. That should bring our opening 20 minutes to its conclusion. Game 21 this Saturday afternoon. Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse Season 2. Team Apuzzo banking the 40 points, the carryover from the first to the second. And we are 5-2 after 20 today. Joe Beninati, Courtney Martinez, Connor. Kylie, we thank you so much for stepping in with us. We wish you the very best in the future. Look forward to seeing you back out on the field again very, very soon.
Thank you.
Hard to imagine it's been 5 weeks since Media Day, meeting up with Mira Shane again, the Pareca sisters. So happy about their second season of Athletes Unlimited. Molly Wolf's personality is always on display and bringing a smile to the face. There's the McKenzie family. We'll talk more about Amber throughout the weekend. Alex Oss-Holman beaming in her second season of Athletes Unlimited. We are enjoying a Saturday afternoon, a beautiful weather day, and Team Apuzzo a perfect second quarter. After the 2-2 score, that means Apuzzo gets 40. Everybody on her roster gets 40 for winning the second. Just one more day of Athletes Unlimited in this second season. Don't miss your chance to see all the excitement here at USA Lacrosse headquarters. Tickets are still available. AU Pro Sports.com/tickets. You can join the folks here enjoying the outstanding level of play. And this is a league that's full of exceptional offensive players. Trust me, it's a treat to watch Becca Block cover ground on defense. The 2021 Athletes Unlimited Geico Defensive Player of the Year, Becca Block.
To kind of get that recognition from everyone was really special because I was playing up against like the best attackers out there, and kind of just getting to shut them down was, so to be recognized for that, that's not always, I mean, everyone knows that defenders don't get recognition like that. Everyone wants to see the goal scorers. They want to see what people do with their sticks. I mean, watching games, even at any sport, any level, like defense is so crucial, and I think the first step to any offense is the defense. And I think that people don't really, they watch the final step of putting the ball in the back of the net and just getting noticed for kind of that end of the field. I think I'm lucky enough to get that award, so that was really special for me.
Courtney, part of me thinks that when I watch Becca Block play that she's almost a center fielder or a free safety, but she's really good one-on-one coverage too, as are all of the players on the screen right now. Your Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse all-defensive team. Reminder, tomorrow the Geico Defensive Player of the Year will be one of these four.
You know, when you look at any one of these players, obviously 3 being straight defenders, 1 being a goalkeeper, but anytime we can reward the defense, because as Becca said it perfectly, defense can translate into offense, especially when they are coming up with big plays, and each and every one of them is causing countless turnovers in their games. Even goalkeeper Taylor Marino, we saw her use her athleticism, jumping out of the cage, causing a turnover, intercepting a pass. They're fun to watch.
4 really good ones on the screen. I could give you another 10 more if you wanted on the all-defensive squad. It's 5-2 for Team Apuzzo after 2 quarters. Sam Apuzzo entered today, number 1 on the leaderboard, striding confidently. She's on the board with a goal today that can only help her cause. We're back with more highlights right after these words. It's a 5-2 advantage for Team Apuzzo after 20 minutes of play this Saturday afternoon at USA Lacrosse headquarters. Very comfortable conditions. Team Apuzzo, after the first quarter was tied, gets the 40 points on the carryover by virtue of the win in the second. Folks, it's your time to earn points for watching. If you're an Unlimited Club member, enter the code on the screen into your Athletes Unlimited app. You'll get points. You'll move up the leaderboard. To get the app, download it today for free at your app store. Get access to great Athletes Unlimited lacrosse content and experiences all season long. Joe Beninati and Courtney Martinez-Connor with you today. Courtney was a 5-time national champion at Maryland. Court, we thought it was interesting. We were canvassing some of the opinions of the players who were dressed in orange. They know they're playing for Sam Apuzzo. How must that make number 14 in the orange feel?
You know, I think the fact that she said secretly we're doing it, but everyone on the team, obviously, they want their captain to finish at the very top. And I think at this point, that second quarter really propelled Sam having 40 overall points, right? Because the first quarter, the points shifted into the second, was huge. So at this point, they're winning out over Team Glynn, and Team Glynn just needs to step it up on the offensive end of the field. Whenever
Sam's a captain, her teams have great offensive operation. That's been doing the job again today. Dempsey Arsenault's the first to strike in orange.
You know, Dempsey always does the dirty work. Her eyes are looking around, where can she get any ground balls? And that was actually a missed pass. But as soon as she picked up the ground ball, she saw that she had a lane to the outside. She had to be precise with her shot, and that she was on that alley dodge to her strong hand. And then Grace Griffin here at the top. She's just a rookie, but she's coming to her own these last few weeks. She's using Sam Apuzzo as a pick, but then using her teammate, Lauren Gilbert, once again cutting off of her heels. Her stick is up. Getting rid of the ball quickly was key. That way she can catch goalkeeper Katie Glynn off guard. And then you have transition play. Allie Kennedy using her speed, and Hallie Majorana, she's being a little bit tricky here. Sneaky, cutting up the backside of that goal circle. Her defender nowhere in sight. She sees space in front of her, and then she adds some flair with a behind-the-back shot to give her team yet another goal. And then we see her directing traffic. She likes to be in that quarterback position behind the goal, waiting to see what sets up in front of her. And then defensively, her matchup, she thinks I can take her on if I get her in the right position. She sees the lane that's open, and she decides to feel out the defense, let her make a little contact before she propels and accelerates, getting her arms free.
Amazing, because Simpkins was in really good shape, and now we turned it over to the captain, Sam Apuzzo, going to goal.
Sam Apuzzo, she just always finds a way. I love how she's at the draw circle. She's done that the last few games, and it's really given her team a lead, I think, and a lot of possession time.
First half numbers, heavy shot totals for Team Apuzzo, cresting at 20. The turnovers have been lopsided, too many for Team Glynn's liking. As we are done with 20 minutes today, getting you back for the start of the third quarter in just a few moments, as the youngsters get set to watch the best in action. Team Glynn has some catching up to do. 5-2 Team Apuzzo after 2 quarters. Let's go into the game with Air National Guard and Hallie Majorana.
Why are you guys picking on me?
Second to last game of her career.
Let's go, hungover. I was with you on that. It's a tiring run.
I'm actually done for the day.
Yeah, shit. Just get quickly breathe. I hope they edit this breathing out. I want to make a ham sandwich. You got it? Ham sandwich. Our initials.
Get the joke, Ben? Ben.
Joe. His name is Joe.
Benny.
Get off. Did you see that? It's 26 and 9 and occasionally 35.
Hallie, tell Simpkins I'll answer to anything. Don't worry about that. As Team Glynn has some catching up to do, we have a chance to chat also with Britt Reed in the cage for Team Apuzzo. Britt, from those first 20 minutes, what were the best points for your squad?
Yeah, I think defensively in the second quarter we came out a little stronger, played more aggressive, and dictated what they did, and it really showed, and then we took the lead.
Britt Reed ready to go for the start of the third.
Let's go, Orange!
Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse Season 2. This is game 21 of 24. Once we are done with this one, we'll get set for Team Johansson and Team Marino. And then tomorrow's final doubleheader, again beginning at 1 p.m. Eastern. 56 players in the league, 1 individual champion crown tomorrow, 4 medalists, a Geico Defensive Player of the Year. All of that happens by the end of MVP voting tomorrow. Apuzzo sent it wide of Glynn. Both the captains were excellent in the opening half, Courtney. They are among the top 3 on the leaderboard when play began today. Apuzzo number 1 overall. O'Donnell with momentum fires Glynn, another stop. Katie Glynn, who bagged 13 saves against Taylor Marino on Thursday, is heading in that direction again. She has 8, and we just started the second half.
Team Glynn just needs to make sure that they're taking care of the ball. They actually won the very first draw control of this third quarter, but then they coughed it up quickly.
Allie Kennedy fired from the wing. That was no trouble for Britt Reed, as she's challenged by Hallie Majorana. We mentioned Glynn has 8 stops. Reed has 5 as Ella Simpkins runs for cover. Simpkins will clear. Set up a 6-on-6 at this end of the field. Grace Griffin, who has factored in prominently for Team Apuzzo this weekend, a couple of goals already today. Aldave, Andy Aldave, 51 in the orange, an injury replacement for Jamie Ortega, not able to go in week 4. Gilbert there was hog-tied, forcing the turnover defensively. That was Kennedy, and speeding back for Team Glynn, it's Katrina Geiger. Geiger, who had an assist against Apuzzo and Marino earlier this year. She's not afraid to go defense to offense.
Oh, and this is a costly turnover. Team Glynn, they were offsides in transition, so they are not even going to be able to have an offensive set. And this is going to be a 30-second green card, so they're going to be down a player for 30 seconds. It's those small little mental errors that add up on the field, especially if they're going to turn this game around. They need to be able to generate shots. Again, Katie Glynn doing her job in the goal cage. She's come up with countless saves, but she needs the offense to produce and the mistakes to be limited.
The offense that's been cold other than the 2 salvos from Hallie Majorana. Pass to the inside, just getting away from O'Donnell. And streaking back, this is Allie Kennedy. A drought of upwards of 13 minutes for Team Glynn. The pass gets away there from Stevens, who took her eyes off of it. Majorana's 2 goals both came back in the opening quarter. We were tied 2-2 after 10. Team Apuzzo won the carry over 20, so that's 40 points for the win of the second frame. And they have the lead right now, 5-2, as we're 3 minutes old in the half. Griffin, marked by Kennedy. Grace Griffin circling this up. Apuzzo more and more has been attacking from the top. She and Arsenault here at the elbow. Guarded by Perella. Aldave not able to get a step on Geiger. O'Donnell, who's never scored from 2. She's at the 8-meter key. Gilbert closing. Fires. Stopped by Katie Glynn, who is seeing it as well as she's had all summer. There have been 9 saves for Glynn, and all of them have been surefire, steady-handed, no doubters.
They have been right on her doorstep. No defense, getting a stick on them. Her eyes are locked in.
No rebounds. She stonewalled Apuzzo on a breakaway, 1-on-none. I mean, she has been awesome in this game, and yet still finds herself trailing, and her mates by 3. Kennedy hedging out there defensively as Griffin move it to Charlotte North. North with that sky whammy fake that she is so fond of. Sets up the 2-person game, doing a little pick and screen slip. North jump shot, she zings it wide. Charlotte scolding herself for missing the mark there. Shot clock's at 7. North rolling back. Lets it go, missed the target. Backed up by Majorana. Inside for Kennedy, knocked out of her cross. This is a 60-second shot clock violation.
The defensive team, Apuzzo, they are quick. They maneuver around. When one person moves, the next person follows, and that's what's incredibly important. When you play team defense, you want to make sure that everybody moves in succession, which is how they're able to come up with big stops. Anytime you can keep a team from scoring a goal in an entire offensive set, you need to be proud of your work on the defensive end.
Apuzzo against Glynn. When we started the day, 2 of those players were in the top 4 on the leaderboard. Sam, the overall leader. Marino and Johansson soon to follow in the second game of our double dip. Dempsey Arsenault with a couple of goals today. Finds Gilbert, keeps it moving for Aldave. 15 seconds to shoot. O'Donnell on the cradle. Arsenault up top. Aldave shovels. Arsenault fires and scores! Dempsey Arsenault with a hat trick.
Joe, I said it once and I'll say it again. It is all about sharing the ball for Team Apuzzo, and that is so very apparent in their offensive set.
Dempsey Arsenault cashing in. 4 unanswered strikes for Team Apuzzo. They take charge. Things have changed since a tight-knit first quarter was deadlocked at 2 after 10. Since then, Team Apuzzo's taken over a 6-2 advantage as we've crossed the midway mark of the third with Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse. Premier Lacrosse League action continuing today. PLL play coming from Utah. Cannons and Chrome, 2:30 Eastern, 11:30 a.m. Pacific on ESPN+. Lyle Thompson, always a wizard, with a lacrosse ball in his cross for the Cannons. Joe and Courtney with you today here at Sparks, Maryland, USA Lacrosse headquarters, enjoying the handiwork of Dempsey Arsenault.
Dempsey Arsenault, I love to watch her on the field. She's just so fluid out there. And as we see her, her eyes were up, hitting Andy Aldave, but a great crash by Team Glynn. And then Dempsey, when she saw that no defensive player was making contact to her, that's when she realized that she had a quality shot on goal. Her defender, Haley Warden, giving her too much space. And Dempsey and Arsenault taking this shot. Nice power action. That small little cradle is almost like a cradle fake, and that's what got Katie Glynn to bite inside the goal. Anytime you can get the keeper to jump before you actually take your shot, the more beneficial it is for you.
And shooting practically off of Warden's ear, that couldn't have made the sight lines very easy for Katie Glynn. Folks, for every assist during this year's Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse season, Aspiration planting 10 trees. Heading into the weekend, well over 1,500 have been committed to. We thank Aspiration for its support. The last helper from Andy Aldave. Aldave has a couple of assists today. Each assist you get is worth 4 points on the leaderboard. Dempsey Arsenault began the day in the number 6 position on the leaderboard. Dempsey Arsenault is now third as a result of what she and her mates have done this afternoon.
It's amazing to see how you can move up the leaderboard statistically, doing your job on the field, and Dempsey Arsenault certainly doing that with 3 goals on the game here today, and then Andy Aldave with her 2 assists. Again, this is just her second game in Athletes Unlimited as she stepped in, and now we see her taking the draw control, relieving Sam Apuzzo, so Sam doesn't have to worry about exchanging sticks. She can just work on focusing, having her team have their offensive sets, and Andy Aldave had the quick opportunity to talk with her coaching staff, and they said she's such an unselfish player and good at playing with others. and she's certainly showing that.
Briefly, Courtney, what is it about the draw stick that makes it uncomfortable to play with offensively?
You know, the pocket is just a little bit different. You want the ball to move into it, and it's in a different spot when you want to shoot. So passing, okay, you have to be a little bit careful, but taking a shot, it's much different.
Looking for those 20 points in the quarter. Team Apuzzo has the advantage there, thanks to the Arsenal goal. Gilbert trotting back behind the cage, picked up by Sydney Pareca. Sam Apuzzo darting around the goal circle. Fought off by Glynn. Glynn running to the end line is going to win this ball. That's a change of possession, plus 12 for her. And when Katie Glynn is around the lead, the overall Geico lead #1 spot, those 12 are very handy to her. Geiger will exchange with McMahon. McMahon, who's been going great guns lately. 4 straight games with a 2-pointer for the first time ever in Athletes Unlimited lacrosse history. Sunsplash day, temperatures in the 70s, very comfortable for Britt Reed to make another save at her ankles. Reed, among the medalists a season ago, #1 all-time saves in Athletes Unlimited is Britt Reed. Team Apuzzo, a mark of 1-0. They downed Team Johansson yesterday, or rather back on Thursday, 8-5. Team Glynn falling to Team Marino Thursday night by a 5-point margin. Ball down. Going to be an over and back violation. And now possession for Team Glynn, which has gone 17+ minutes without a goal. Since the 2 tallies from Hallie Majorana, it has been a struggle. Allie Kennedy comes up with a scoop. Finds Stevens. Little give and go. Back behind to Majorana, and then this way to McMahon. Majorana sneaks, works around and scores! Hallie Majorana with a hat trick.
Good things have happened when they look to attack the goal from behind for Team Glynn. Hallie Majorana being the one to do it all 3 times, but as the ball is moving around the perimeter, when the ball is in front at the very top, the defense is settled. Bit of a miscommunication on that last one, so Hallie was able to march in without a defender close by, which you never want if you're goalkeeper Britt Reed. We see her really high on the circle. She was looking to take away any and all angle from Hallie, but Hallie knew, as she was a collegiate coach, you want to fake and then shoot around.
It's the tail end of season 2, and Hallie Majorana has said from time to time that this might be her last year as a player. She's coming to terms with it. She has had a fantastic offensive 4 weeks of Athletes Unlimited lacrosse. 6-3 with just over 2 minutes to go in the third. The third quarter is tied up 1 apiece. We could have another carryover as we did from the first to second today. The officials awarding possession to Andy Aldave and Team Apuzzo in orange. Kerrigan Miller has control. Miller spent her graduate season of eligibility with North Carolina back in 2021, former Pac-12 Midfielder of the Year at USC. Gilbert off the split dodge. Fast feet. Gilbert pawns this off to Grace Griffin, the only 3-time captain ever of the women's lacrosse program at the University of Maryland, about, I'd say 40 minutes away in College Park. Haven't called Aurora Cordingsley's name very much, but there she sets up beautifully for a Griffin goal. Grace Griffin matching Arsenault and Majorana with her 3rd tally on the day.
There seemed to be a lot of movement offensively. We see Aurora Cordingley with the ball behind the goal cage. A lot of cuts, a lot of action. Aurora Cordingley quickly changing direction, and Grace Griffin, she seemed wide open for ages, like she could have pitched a tent inside of that 8-meter. Again, getting rid of the shot quickly as she had done earlier today in the game. But she got rocked after that shot. Still no foul being called, but Grace Griffin extending the lead for Team Apuzzo.
Nifty pass from Cordingley, one terp to another. Grace Griffin, 2 times a first-team All-Big Ten selection at the University of Maryland, putting Team Apuzzo in a 2-1 lead in the third quarter. Those 20 points are on the line. Draw possession belongs to Courtney Taylor. She's going to run out of real estate. Colson and Wakefield will right there to ball hawk her into a caused turnover. Colson, who's been among the league leaders in that department all summer. Miller rolling away from Stevens. And we are down to 60 seconds left in the third. First of 2 games today. Glynn and Apuzzo on field now. Johansson and Marino coming up at 3:30 Eastern. Accordingly, watched on the outside by defender Molly Little. Liza Kelly was the one who really taught her how to fall in love with Lax. Pass to the inside, Arsenault. Stop there. Katie Glynn makes another lunging save. Glynn into double figures in the stop totals, and now she's going to clear against fellow captain Apuzzo, and it's going to be a timeout called for. Facilitator Christy Foote wisely asking for time.
The captains rely so heavily on their facilitators as they are often involved in big plays on the field. Katie Glynn is the only other person who could have called that timeout other than the facilitator. So very heads-up play.
2-time Tewaaraton Award winner there, center screen, Charlotte North. We know, Athletes Unlimited fans, you'd love to win a lacrosse ball signed by Charlotte. Go to auprosports.com/sweepstakes. You can register to win today. No purchase necessary. There are some other restrictions that may apply. Charlotte North, to this point, has been quiet. A lot of the day she has been covered up by Caroline Wakefield as we take a look at our Geico Defensive Play of the Game.
Caroline Wakefield has done such a great job so far in this game, causing turnovers, getting on the hands of her offensive players in this, one of the best in the league on Charlotte North. But Caroline Wakefield ever putting pressure on her offensive players right here. And oftentimes you want to not lose body positioning, but she knows when she has that check within reach, and she has done such a great job. Caroline Wakefield with the defensive play of the game.
Caroline Wakefield tells us that she loves to play poker and shoot pool. We know whenever she wears the microphone, she's a type A personality. Perella and McMahon trying to get back on the board. Majorana ended a lengthy drought with her third. She's the only player to strike this afternoon for Team Glynn in the purple. McMahon floats to North. Chased by Arsenault. North sends it high as the shot clock and game clock expires, ending period 3. Team Apuzzo has done it again. 20 more points for winning that third quarter by a 2-1 score. 7-3, they have the lead. Going to the final 10 minutes with you in just a few moments. There have been 10 goals scored today, 9 of them by just 3 players. Majorana, Arsenault, and Griffin all with hat tricks. Sam Apuzzo is on the board as well. The team captained by the attacker has swept through. They have 60 points thanks to those quarter wins. The big second quarter carryover from the first. We are 7-3 after 3. Folks, listen up. Top Rank Boxing comes your way tonight, highlighted by former unified lightweight champ Teofimo Lopez battling Pedro Campa in the junior lightweight main event. Lopez looking to take over the 140-pound division. Coverage begins 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific on ESPN and ESPN Deportes. ESPN Plus coverage of the prelims begins at 6:30 Eastern, 3:30 Pacific, both in English and in Spanish. Joe Beninati, Courtney Martinez, Connor with a big shout out of thanks to all the men and women in our technical crew. The Saturday afternoon, game 21. Sam Apuzzo is in a good mood. Haley Majorana has 3 as she adjusts her goggles. Now her team needs some get up and go in the fourth.
It's all about getting the possession of the ball and they need quality looks at the goal. Every time that's happened when they've started at X, that means right behind the goal cage, but they just need to be more dynamic, more cutters inside, more options. Take away the defense, who it seems like is just pitching a tent inside of the 8-meter. Get them out of there, make them have to honor you.
Right now, Hallie Majorana is the only player in Athletes Unlimited to have goals in all 11 of her games. Charlotte North is not yet on the board. Lauren Gilbert's goal-scoring streak came to an end after 9. Here's Gilbert with the ball in her cross briefly there. Lauren has not had a tally today. She and her mates for Team Apuzzo. Sam began the afternoon number 1 on the Geico leaderboard. We'll crown a champion tomorrow. We have Team Johansson and Team Marino waiting in the wings, the second game of our doubleheader today. Tomorrow, Team Glynn squares off with Team Johansson at 1. Team Apuzzo faces Team Marino in the final game, game 24 of the season. Majorana's pass, nice catch and put away. Beautiful goal inside for Allie Kennedy.
I like this offensive look. Again, they started with the ball behind the goal cage, what we call X. So as Hallie Majorana has that ball, obviously she's looking to dodge, but her eyes are up. Allie Kennedy, she was the first cutter. Oftentimes that's not the person who's gonna be open, but she got a step on Dempsey Arsenal. The net is wide open behind her with Britt Reed high on that circle. Gave her a lot of open net, a lot of white that she saw in there, but that was a hard cut, and oftentimes that's all you need. Get your defender to look another way, you cut hard to goal.
With a hearty handshake from Hallie Majorana, Allie Kennedy says thanks. Allie, who went 4 games without a goal, then snapped that skid against Team Marino a couple nights back. Tallies in consecutive outings for Allie Kennedy. We've been talking a lot throughout the summer about the players and their loved ones, both family and pets. Allie has a boxer named Rocky. I see what she did there. I see that.
There's a lot of dogs who are in market, and I think it's cute that they have their own play dates.
Of course. Majorana, who is factored on all 4 goals for Team Glynn in the purple. Early stages of the 4th, the deficit is 3. North can change that quickly with her 2-point shooting ability. Same for Izzy McMahon. Majorana looking over the top, shaded by Simpkins. Help comes from Wakefield. Shot clock's at 15. Stevens circle it. Kennedy fires, and Reed was right there on the angle. Britt Reed's outlet is a strike on 1 skip for Arsenault. 4-on-3 fast break. Down for Aldave. 1 more Apuzzo, and she missed it to the far post. Hides her face in her cross, did Apuzzo afterward. It's embarrassed that she missed what looked like a layup for her.
We just saw the leaderboard pop up, and that's forever changing as the game is moving. Otherwise, we only have players in the purple and orange. Those are the only ones who can make changes as their game is happening right now. We'll have Team Johansson and Team Marino next. But anybody wearing the purple and orange has the opportunity right now to continue to maneuver where they're at on the leaderboard.
Every moment counts. It's a compressed, really energetic, exciting season winding to a close here in Sparks, Maryland. Majorana tiptoeing at the 8-meter key. Hallie Majorana drawing a couple of defenders. Finds the open player. McMahon lets it go, and crossing over. Reed saw that all the way.
Team Glynn has found success when they let the ball move quickly and when they have a cutter inside. They have to be multifaceted. Cannot just be looking for a one-on-one challenge, but we see right here this save from Britt Reed. She was locked in. I think they realize that they're looking for those 2-point goals right now as opposed to chipping away a little bit one at a time.
And somewhere, Courtney, Ginny Cappuccioni is smiling. The coach who has worked with both netminders, both Glynn and Reed, and even Mira Shane for that matter. The goalies combined are over 18 saves today. McMahon puts a rifle shot to the corner.
Izzy McMahon capitalizing on the offensive end of the field with her nifty footwork. As we watch this replay, She strides it out a little bit, but those stutters, that's how she gets space from her defensive player. As we watch it one more time, quick little steps, and we see two defensive players who were stepping to the opposite direction. Izzy got them to bite and then was ready to release that ball quickly. Again, opposite side, you want to put the ball away from the stick of the goalkeeper. Britt Reed was nearing the one pipe. Izzy McMahon firing it to the other.
Izzy McMahon with goals now in 7 straight games. Catching her breath on the sideline, making things very interesting now. It's 7-5 overall. It's 2-0 for Team Glynn in the fourth. Couple of tallies a little less than 3 minutes apart. Team Apuzzo was hoping to sweep through all 4 quarters. Obviously, Katie Glynn's side has other ideas. Geiger comes up with 2 points for the draw control, and she'll tightrope down the sideline. We hear a whistle and possession to remain with Team Glynn.
We've definitely seen a momentum shift right now with 2 quick goals to start this fourth quarter. Britt Reed talked about it. They know that Sam Apuzzo is at the top and they want to keep her there. But then Team Glynn offensively looks like they're having that swing, which they need for their captain to be able to move up that leaderboard.
McMahon on the go. See a little extra pep in her step as this pass gets away. It's a turnover. There are no set teams in Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse. You say the same for Athletes Unlimited Softball that's going on right now in Rosemont, Illinois. On the clear, Grace Griffin will bring it ahead.
Team Apuzzo, they can have patience right now. They're up by 2. It is the fourth quarter. Granted, they only have 60 seconds to get a shot off before the clock expires. But you want to make sure you're not just shooting to shoot, taking your time.
Accordingly, picks up Griffin off the roll dodge against Perella. Perella right there at her hands. Halfway through the 60-second shot clock, Gilbert on the go. Gilbert fires, stopped by Katie Glynn. That wide base stance of Glynn, stopping the sharpshooter, Lauren Gilbert, the rookie out of Northwestern. Down the alleyway goes Stevens, getting the jump on Simpkins. Looks for the trailer. Perella rolled right into traffic. Wakefield on the takeaway, with then her pass airmails Andy Aldave. Leisurely picking this up on the scoop, it's Courtney Taylor. Taylor was one player I thought, Court, who would have been in the running perhaps for all defensive team. Midfielders, defenders, and goalies were voted on by their fellow athletes and facilitators, and Taylor has had improvement just about each and every game of her rookie season.
It can be hard to step onto the field and make a difference, but Courtney Taylor certainly playing at those highest levels collegiately and now into the pro league.
The captain marching to the sideline. When we return, we'll hear from Katie. She'll remind you about what it's like to be a netminder behind the mask. Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse on ESPN is brought to you by Geico. For bundling made easy, go to geico.com. Britt Reed in a really good goalies duel today with the likes of Katie Glynn. Alex Ost-Holman, we'll see her in the second game. Christy and Britt, wishing them all the very best. They're expecting a child in December together. Team Apuzzo and Team Glynn 7-5 at the moment. Team Glynn in the driver's seat in search of those 20 points for winning the fourth. Katie's going to tell you, you know what? Goalies are not normal customers. Pelton lets it go. Stopped by Glynn. The win for Team Apuzzo.
I always say goalies are weird. It takes a special human being to be putting goal. You know, it's different from any other position on the field, and it's definitely like the toughest. You know, you're the one who's that last person to get scored on. It's a special position, so it takes a special person.
Katie's mom and dad, Debbie and Ted, I'm sure, are enjoying what they've seen so far from Katie with 11 stops. She's one of the reasons why they've been able to keep this close.
Katie Glynn has done everything, include stand on her head in 1v nuns with Sam Apuzzo, Lauren Gilbert, two of the best shooters in this league. I mean, she's done an outstanding job of keeping the score close. It's just 7-5, and she's hoping that that momentum shift that they're seeing here in the fourth quarter translates into that overall win for her team.
Former Patriot League Goalie of the Year at Loyola. We're not far from where the Greyhounds call home. 7-5, Team Apuzzo. 4:27 left in the fourth. Just past the bottom of the hour, Joe and Courtney with you. Enjoying another exciting conclusion to these games. So many of them separated and decided by 2 points or one. Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse's inaugural season was 5 weekends worth of play. This time around 4, with all the international play that was conducted, coming off a really busy NCAA season, Women's World Championships, the World Games in Alabama. Players and executive committee and organizers decided 4 weeks would do. So the closing day is tomorrow. 3:48 left, 20 seconds on the shot clock for O'Donnell. Isolate Apuzzo here. Off the split from right to left, she scores! The lightning quick release of Sam Apuzzo.
Sam Apuzzo taking control for her team offensively. While they didn't score when they were a player up for 30 seconds, they were patient. Sam sizing up Courtney Taylor right here, and this was in my perfect line sight from the booth. She didn't have a lot of angle. As you can see, that ball hugged the pipe on the weak side. That's the most perfect placement for any attacker. Opposite side hip of where the stick is at. And Sam Apuzzo showing why she's one of the best. Very accurate and precise shooting.
Multi-goal games now for Apuzzo in 8 of her 11 this season. Began the year as the only player to score a goal in every game. She's moved to the 20-goal plateau with that strike. And she has made this a, quote, 2-possession type game now. A 3-point difference with 3.5 left. There is a 2-point goal in Athletes Unlimited Lacrosse. From anywhere beyond that 8-meter key, you get 2 for your team, 16 for yourself on the overall leaderboard. Charlotte North, who has been quiet today, has not scored just yet. North leads the league in 2s this summer with 5. Swinging on around for Grace Griffin. Big day for the rookie, a hat trick. Working inside, looking for 4. She pumped that one wide. Backed up on the end line by Dempsey Arsenault, closest to the ball on a shot, where and when it leaves the field gets possession. Apuzzo turns the corner and fires to score! Sam Apuzzo taking over.
What's amazing is double teams have not been sent quickly to Sam Apuzzo, and she has certainly capitalized on that. This last time they sent a double team, and she still managed to get a quality shot off. Dempsey Arsenault making the pass, clearing through space. We see Haley Warden right now. She was the second defender. Courtney Taylor all over Sam, but that check is what enabled her to have space to her strong side, as we see right here over the head. That opportunity that Sam Apuzzo certainly took advantage of. As soon as she saw that swing come, she had the space.
There are 9 goals on the board for Team Apuzzo, shared by only 3 players. 3 different hat trick performers. Apuzzo herself, Griffin, and Arsenault. Now lengthening the lead to 4 with 2:50 left, and draw possession to the speedy Lauren Gilbert. Now, Sam Apuzzo, you would imagine, would ask her mates in orange to slow things down, shrink the game with only 2:38 left in regulation. Apuzzo, who began the day number 1 on the overall leaderboard. This performance is not going to hurt. It's going to make Captain Taylor Marino, who comes on in the second game of our doubleheader, have to work that much harder to catch her. Griffin fidgets inside. Apuzzo, quick stick. That's her 4th. And a natural hat trick here in the fourth quarter. 3 straight goals.
Sam Apuzzo, she is the heartbeat of her team. Always being ever the competitive player, finishing any offensive set, putting herself in a position to score. She knows when and where to be, but Grace Griffin coming to her own as well. She does a lot of the dirty work normally, ground balls, defensive matchups, but she's had vision in this game, and Sam Apuzzo, the benefactor of that feed inside. Excellent job.
That one may turn the lights out on Team Glynn. 10-5 with 2:17 left. For every goal you score in Athletes Unlimited, you get 12 points. Apuzzo, 3 of those tallies in 81 seconds. She has 4 overall on the day. They scrap for the draw possession. It stays with Team Glynn. You're going to see the Geico leaderboard left side of the screen. Apuzzo stretching out the advantage over Taylor Marino, Lizzie Colson, and Dempsey Arsenal with this 4-goal explosion today. McMahon for 2, knocked down by Reed. Less than 2 minutes to go. Team Apuzzo about to go 2-0 this weekend. They finish up against Team Marino tomorrow. That's a 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time start. 56 players, Courtney, came to town eyeing a championship. Only one could win. Sam Apuzzo is going to be in the driver's seat come tomorrow afternoon. Accordingly, lost possession of the ball. Takeaway caused turnover for Geiger. Now to Glynn, and she'll jog it ahead. Looking to once more run by the riding Sam Apuzzo. There's a timeout called by the facilitator, Christy Foote. We call those facilitators a lot of the times helpers and advisors. They know when a timeout's necessary.
When your goalie has the ball on her stick and she is the one starting the fast break nearing the midfield line, that's the perfect time to call it. A minute 13 left. They can talk about what they need to do offensively to try and get back in this game, and that's going for the 2-point shot.
Plenty of nice goals in this game. Pretty setups as well as we try to find an aspiration assist play, Court.
As we take a look, Aurora accordingly, she feels most at home behind the goal cage, has excellent vision. Grace Griffin, a nice cut inside, but Aurora accordingly handles the pressure for this aspiration assist of the game, finding her wide open teammate inside. She was under a lot of pressure.
Closing in now on 1,600 trees that have been committed to this season, or thanks to Aspiration, a sustainability partner of Athletes Unlimited. Aurora accordingly talking things over with Britt Reed. 10-5 now for Team Apuzzo, and we talk about the leaderboard cumulatively. This is how it's broken down through 4 weeks for Sam Apuzzo.
Whatever team Sam Apuzzo puts together or is on, they always seem to win quarter points, win overall games. Statistically, again, she is not just a goal scorer. She can feed, gets draw controls, but MVP points, she's consistently either in that number 1 or 2 spot for 45 or 30 points respectively.
She's closing in, Courtney, on eclipsing her totals from last year. Last year she banked 1,685 points. That placed her 3rd on the leaderboard, the championship that was won by Taylor Cummings. 60 seconds to go, and Team Glynn in the purple very much in need of some 2-point rockets. Charlotte North outside the 8-meter key. 2-person game with McMahon. Both of those players capable of scoring from the parking lot. McMahon worked over O'Donnell there in Wakefield doggedly to the sideline. Shot clock's at 12. Vanthoff on the sweep, measured by Arsenal. Shot clock's at 6. The turnover by Wakefield. More terrific defense from those in orange. That's going to do it today. Team Apuzzo leading now in the 4th quarter 3-2 thanks to 3 goals from its captain. Not done yet. Griffin waltzes in with icing on the cake.
Grace Griffin with goal number 11 for Team Apuzzo, and in same fashion as what we've seen all game, the defensive Team Apuzzo getting the ball for their offense, and then the offense is doing their job by scoring goals. This one again from the defensive end, Caroline Wakefield. She may have a record in terms of caused turnovers. And Grace Griffin, just a rookie, but She has had an outstanding game here as Athletes Unlimited season is winding down.
Grace Griffin, half of those 8 this season coming today. She had 1 in each quarter, in fact, as regulation time will expire in 12 seconds. And Sam Apuzzo's team will improve to 2-0 this weekend. Team Glynn about to fall to 0-2. Hallie Majorana put up a fuss. She had 3 goals and an assist, but the offense not enough today as the horn sounds, ending 40 minutes. Team Apuzzo, an 11-5 winner over Team Glynn, picking up the 4th, picking up the 45 points for the win. More big numbers for those wearing the orange today. We are stepping aside, still with a little bit more work to do. Get you back. We'll put a bow on this one in just a moment. Team Apuzzo, once again, too much for Team Glynn. Dempsey Arsenault, a major factor in this decision as Team Apuzzo sweeps through, takes the 80 win points for the quarter, 45 for the day. And Dempsey Arsenault, speaking of having a day, she did.
Dempsey Arsenault, she is such a grinder on the field. A two-way midi in every sense of the word. She can put up numbers on the offensive side as well as on the defense. But her shooting today, I think, is what was the best part of her game. She was so accurate and consistent in getting the job done.
Sun-kissed afternoon, first of 2 games today, now complete with Team Apuzzo, an 11-5 victor. And everybody on the Apuzzo team that scored today was doing it in big, big numbers. Dempsey Arsenault having a chair chat with us in the aftermath. Dempsey, when Sam Apuzzo takes over in the 4th quarter, what do you see? What happens?
She just flips a switch. I knew that her shots weren't falling, but we all just kept pumping her up and kept telling her to keep going, and we knew that was exactly what was going to happen.
Dempsey, we've seen from your first game together as a team on Thursday to today, so many of the goals are assisted. Is that something you guys are looking to do?
Yeah, definitely. We're just trying to build that team chemistry and looking for each other, and assisted goals are so much more fun. So we've just been working together, and it's been paying off.
Dempsey, you had a very strong game as well. What's it like shooting on Katie Glynn? She was solid in the first 30 minutes.
Yeah, she's incredible. She was reading all her shots, so I was just trying to see the cage, trying to put it around her, but she got my number quite a few times.
As you look forward to your game tomorrow, what are some things that you guys are going to need to do to secure this 3-0 weekend?
I think not thinking too far ahead, just taking it one goal at a time and continuing to have fun with each other. It's our last game of the whole season, so just trying to cherish where we are and really have fun.
Dempsey, I want to bring you up to speed. You began today 6th on the leaderboard. Your effort today with the wins and the goals that you tallied move you up to 4th. We haven't had the MVP voting just yet, but are you keeping tabs on it? Do you know where you stand?
Oh my gosh, no. Every single game, every single possession, it changes. So it's best not to look and pay attention and just work as a team, get those team wins, and yeah.
You better be paying attention tomorrow. You're chasing after Sam for that title. Good luck, and thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Dempsey Arsenault, another big game for 11 in the orange. One of 3 different players for Team Apuzzo to have a hat trick today. Goalkeeper Britt Reed making friends through the autograph and handshake line. A job well done for Team Apuzzo, an 11-5 victory. For Courtney Martinez-Connor, for all the men and women in our crew, Joe Beninati thanking you for your time. Just a reminder, our second game of the day, right back here, 3:30 Eastern. We have Team Johansson taking on Team Marino. Taylor Marino, of course, keeping tabs on the damage done by Apuzzo. She's trying to chase her down in Athletes Unlimited.